Hello, welcome. This is a 5 mask full clear horrific vision on a guardian druid, a bear. It is a little sloppy. I've been warned in advance. I'm pretty sure I lose all my sanity at Rexar. Don't want to do that. Learn from my mistakes. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave any comments or questions you have, or anything I may have missed, and I will cover that in a later video. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy. Bye. Hey guys, welcome. Just going to be doing a quick 5 mask on my bear today. I am 463 equipped right now. The setup I am running, I run 2 sets of gear for this. I'm going to be running a Twilight Devastation set, just 32 corruption. For most of it, that's rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of Twilight Dev, so no thing from beyond or anything like that. Nothing to worry about there. So no corruption over 40. You can run whatever you want. I like Twilight Dev. The way this is going to play out is I basically just pull as many mobs as I can, pull them all together, and then we fish for Twilight Dev. A couple things to make our lives easier. Gift of the Titans is a big haste buff that can help us out. And there's a couple little like mother upgrades that you get haste every time you kill a mob, for example, that can stack. Stuff like that will help us get a little more haste. I do have 2 Twilight Dev builds. They're both rank 5. I just wear the one with a little more haste because haste picks your devs. The second set I will be wearing I only wear for the last boss, and that's just a simple infinite star set instead. Easy peasy. I have Ghastly Goulash. I don't think I'm going to eat it. I think I'm just going to use normal stamina food, a little extra damage off of Twilight Dev, and I don't really think I need the Goulash here. I'm pretty tanky. Bears have lots of defensive cooldowns, so I think I should be fine. If I'm not, I'll just stop midway, swap my food buff out, easy peasy. I'm using a Stam flask and a Augment rune just for a little extra agility. Easy peasy. So I'm buffed up, I'm ready to go. Talents, I don't know if there's actually an optimal setup for a bear. There very well may be. This is what I like to run. It's worked so far. So I'm going to keep running it. So I think I have my 5 masks on, and here we go.
It seems our fates are...
Start off in travel form. This will be Druid focused, of course, assuming you're a bear. Start off in travel form. I'm going to grab this guy, pull these ones with our body, switch into bear form, start spamming Moonfire. Going to interrupt this one shaman, try and pull this mob over with me. So as we can see, I am taking a fair amount of damage, just something to be aware of. Know your buttons, know your cooldown defensives, use them if you need to. All I did there was simply I popped some frenzy regeneration and it was enough to get me back. There's a Gift of the Titans proc, so now we're really flying. We're going to go back over here. Our only remaining ranged. We're simply just fishing for Twilight Dev. If we don't get it, that's okay. We're just AoEing these down either way. Not a problem. Into cow form to travel, we're grabbing this crystal. We got 1 crystal. I'm not going to be showing... I'm pretty sure I'm outside. Let me run. I'm not going to be showing any extra crystal spots. If I happen to go through them, I will stop and grab them. But I already have the 2 crystals for this area. So for example, I'm not going to go show where the other spots are. I have mentioned them in many other videos, and I've mentioned that there's an add-on, Handy Notes, Horrific Vision add-on, that can show you where everything you are looking for is. But in my Warrior 5 mask video, I do go over all the locations of those as well. So you can check that out if need be. Same thing for here. I'm just fishing for Twilight Dev. I didn't want to actually eat that stun. That was a little sketchier than I want to. That was a shockwave that I should have been dodging. Nothing to worry about. If you don't get Twilight Dev proc, want to interrupt there. If you don't get the Twilight Dev proc, interrupt that as well. I used, what did I use there? I used Incapacitating Roar. If you don't get Twilight Dev procs, you essentially do negligible damage, as we can see here. But there's the proc. That's all we needed. So now I'm going to go check my potion. And I'm going to check... Oh, I am a silly man. This is the wrong building. Please don't mind me. Green. So everything but green is bad. Or everything but green is good, excuse me. gonna go drink all the non-green potions I find. Quickly grab this 10% health buff off of Gammon here. I'm gonna do a little test here. I don't actually know if I can do this, but I'm gonna try dragging him with me. I don't want to sit here fighting him. I'd much rather slowly move over. However, I don't know if he has a hard limit on how far he can go, and I really don't want him to just reset. I feel like I'm doing like negative damage right now. That's okay. Tanks don't do damage. The trade-off is everything in here has a little less health, but hits a little harder. So that's something to be aware of, especially if you're going to be on a tank tune carrying one of your friends. If you have a lower geared friend who is working on their cloak or something and wants to come into a mass carry with you, just be aware. If you are a tank, everything's going to hit everyone harder, so that includes the person you're carrying through here. So just something to be aware of. It can be devastating. I went in with a geared pally the other day with my friend on a run with him, and I couldn't. He was the tank itself, and I was the DPS, but it made everything in there hit me like a truck. So just something to be aware of. Because it took me a little while to figure out what was going on there. I was very confused as to why my decently geared paladin was getting clapped. But all's well that ends well. We figured it out, and just something to be aware of. So they are a little squishier, because tanks obviously lack in damage, but they will hit harder because tanks do have tankiness, of course. So my last guy for this area. I can eat a kebab here, but I am not going to. Basically, the window I have is 200 sanity, so I can go down to 375 is basically when I can't fully recover my sanity. So if I was under there, maybe I would debate eating. I'm going to get this chest on my way back when I come back to this area.
Champions, we're needing your help.
Make sure we grab all these guys. Try and pull them into the dev proc. There we go. Twilight Dev moves very slowly, so even if you're behind it, if the mobs are with you, you can generally catch up to it, no problem. Just trying to move out of the way. The Fist is okay to eat. It is more so the Decimator I want to get out of the way of. It's just a straight line. We simply just move slightly to the side. As we can see, if I'm not getting Twilight Dev procs, I'm not doing any damage whatsoever. I did not dodge the Decimator there. That was bad. I'm getting bounced around and it's not a fun time. Please stop. Anyway, there's a Twilight Dev proc. Oh god, that was super sloppy. Anyway, we're done with that garbage now. If Twilight Dev doesn't proc, I do recommend there are more consistent builds than Twilight Devastation. Some classes do use Twilight Dev very well. That come to mind are Demon Hunters and Fury Warriors. They're attacking very fast. They can proc it quite often. Bears aren't exactly haste masters. They aren't exactly fast. Even right now with my Gift of the Titans, I'm moving 66% faster, and I'm just lumbering along. So just something to be aware of. Bears are not hasty. However, when it does go off, it's devastating because of our massive health pool. The reason our health pool is so large, the way Bear Mastery works is Mastery on bears, it increases your health when you're in bear form. So that's why it has such a large health pool. It's actually over 1 million right now. Pretty gross. A little trick when you have lead foot. First of all, always interrupt the Dominators. Touch of the Abyss is a targeted stun we don't want to eat 5 seconds of. Lead foot is abusable by druids. You simply just shift in and out of shapeshifting and it drops all your stacks. So I have lead foot here. I have lead foot, shift in and shift out, and it drops all the stacks for you. Easy peasy. You can shapeshift into any species. That'll work as long as you are shapeshifting. It will change for you, no problem. It will drop your stacks. Last guy here. This one's going to be interesting. I'm just fishing for procs. It's important I don't eat any of the purple on the ground, or the pink, sorry, not purple. I really don't want to eat that. I can't really afford the sanity loss right now. This guy will give me 200 back, so not bad. If I can ever get a Twilight Devastation proc, it will be good. There it is, and then he dies. So that's the trade-off. They're rare and they're hard to get, but if you get them, they are going to kill the mob. It's very potent. I already have forgotten what potion I have as the good one, so I'm just not drinking anything. I think... I can't remember. Oh my god, I can't remember. That's okay. Doesn't matter. No potions for me, I don't need them. I'll just run through very fast. Just slowly moving. I never want to backtrack because I don't want to stand in the burning bridge madness, right? These black circles. You can stand in them. It won't be the end of the world. Just get out of them quickly. But it's easier to simply just not backtrack or stop moving altogether than it is to deal with that. I'm running around like a fool because my potion ran out because I haven't been drinking potions. I'm going to lose 30 sanity every time. It's essentially unavoidable unless you're ranged. So just kind of got to eat that 30 sanity. That's why we try and come in on this boss with enough sanity to make up for it. This boss is, however, just very annoying. There we go. There's the proc we needed, finally. We have Gift of the Titan, so I'm not going to bother eating or anything. I'm just going to go right into it, try and get the most out of this gift, try and get a quick proc while using the haste here. Sometimes you don't get it. No worries. We're still just going to treat it the exact same. We stand on the boss so we don't have to deal with this ring. Super easy. We're just waiting for corruption. We move slightly. We can move out of both at the same time. No worries there. Move out of our madness just slightly, just on the edge there. There's the dev we needed. Straight line. It's very narrow. It's very defined line. As long as you move to the side, you should be fine. Whenever I'm moving, I am using my strafe. It is important to note I strafe to the side. I do not turn per se. I am just simply strafing. The reason that is it lets me keep my camera facing the same way, and it lets me sorry, I lost my train of thought there. It lets me face them and stay to the side while always keeping my hitbox in front of them. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. Had a little message. So yeah, I want to... oh, beautiful Twilight Dev proc there. Feels good. I wish I knew what was going... I'm just going to drink this potion. I don't care. I'm going to do a quick test. I'm pretty sure green's the bad potion. Yep. Perfect. Green is bad. Science. Science. So we're just waiting for this. Yeah, you only have to wait till the 10-second mark. It'll proc. There we go. Now we're good to go again. So green is bad. I can drink everything else. I believe red is 100. Boom. Easy peasy. Just negate the bad work I just did. Nothing to worry about there. I'm going to try and bounce onto here. I think I can... yep. Bears will automatically find the path if you just charge up on here. If you ever get knocked off. So I have my fire ready to proc, so if I'm moving, I'm going to try and move so that it bounces me and keeps me on this platform. Sometimes it's easier said than done, but that is what I'm trying to do with my fire there. It can be very annoying to fall into these holes down here and you can't get back up. Just a bit of just tedious. Going up here, grabbing a crystal. The first spot I already checked. It's back in this first hut over here. It wasn't there, obviously. These over to me. I'm always trying to face and point my Twilight Dev in the direction where all the mobs are coming from, obviously. Sometimes that's unavoidable, but there we go. When we can do it like that, it looks real good. Takes out all the mobs, and we look like geniuses. However, when it goes the other direction, yikes. No worries there, excuse me, sorry. So for these guys, little trick, you can kill them from the mementos if you want, but you can just sneak down the side here. It just be careful your fire doesn't bump you back over there the way you came. Don't want that. All these bosses are looking the exact same. I'm simply dodging the mechanics, so for this guy it's just the waves. Eventually he'll cast Hopelessness on me. I just go pick up a ball from the ground. Very simple. It's right here. He casted it directly on me. So what I'm going to do is for the next Hopelessness, assuming no waves hit me. Oh, they are coming to hit me, so I do have to move. There we go. Otherwise, I would just sit there waiting for my fire, and then I would proc it in the direction of my Hopeless Orb, if that makes sense, right? I would use the fire movement to my advantage instead of treating it as a detriment. You could use it to like quickly bop into your Hopeless if you aim it right. So just something to be aware of. Just checking for a chest back here, nothing. We can grab this 100 sanity. It'll only be a bit, but that's okay. Not bad to top ourselves off, and away we go. So we're at full sanity. We got all 3 orbs so far. Looking good. I'm gonna grab this blue just cause, why not? Here we go. Sanity's looking good so far. Hopefully when we come to this area, so we're slowed right now, so all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna shift in and out of travel form until it speeds me up, and then I'll just leave it and I'll run around in travel form. You can loot chests and get crystals and stuff in travel form. You can do everything in travel form, it's wonderful. However, only druids have travel form, and otherwise you're going to have to get off your mount to open boxes and stuff and get crystals. That's the way she goes. So this one, I got a nice Gift of the Titans here, just moving out of this circle. Gift of the Titans lets me proc a lot more. The 60% haste is cannot be understated there. It's really useful, especially if you're cheesing Twilight Dev like me. It's based on haste, as I keep saying. Crystal here, not there. Open this portal. This is a 10% haste buff. We just kill Warp Weaver Dushar here. Got a Twilight Dev proc. He instantly died. That poor man had a family. Good gracious me. Kill the Dominator first. After 50% or a Void Bolt caster 2, he will cast Touch of the Abyss. That's a targeted stun. We don't want to let that go off. As a Druid, we have 3 things we can use. We have our natural Skull Bash, which is our interrupt, 15-second cooldown. That should be up, ready to go for the Dominator. If not, we have a blowback. A Typhoon is talent. The other talent you could have is Skull Bash, which also works there, which is a targeted stun. And then your third interrupt is your AoE 30-second incapacitating roar shout. That'll just like fear them, make them run around in a circle for a second. Very useful. God, my damage sucks when Twilight Death doesn't proc. My God, it's embarrassing. That's okay. We're just fishing for it. But yeah, just something to be aware of there. These guys we can pull all together. Not too worried. Actually, I'm going to do this quick. No, I'm not. Let this guy pop up here. This is slow and steady. Normally I like to go a little faster than this, however my sanity is in a great spot here, so there really is no rush. I'm going to start dealing with this Dominator. But yeah, use your 3 interrupts. You have 3. That's only a 30-second cooldown. Both of these are only 30-second cooldown, and will both work as interrupts for you, so use them accordingly. Nice Twilight Dev proc. Gotta go open this door. Missed one back here. This will spawn a dude. He won't actually hit you till you hit him, so you can just ignore him. You can go in here. There is a chest that can spawn in here and 2 crystals. They're not in here, that's okay. A chest can also spawn as well as a crystal in this building. Check this out quick. My fire's bumping me all over the place. Here's our chest. Here's our crystal. Easy peasy. These buildings will not be unlockable until you actually finish killing this guy. Sometimes it's actually annoying to pull the aggro off of whatever mob he was fighting over there. Just annoying to deal with. That's okay. Not as annoying as this boss we're about to fight, so that's okay. This boss is annoying just because you have to line of sight him. And I'm not a ranged champ character class, so I basically just have to sit there spamming Moonfire like a peasant. We're in here for our crystal, so we have both crystals now. I will briefly mention the last crystal spawns in this building behind the boss if you don't have two already, but we do, so we don't have to go there, obviously. We could eat, we could drink, or eat a kebab here. However, it feels unnecessary at this point. I think we can just ride it out. Let's give it a go. Oh, don't! I want to pull him towards the stump here, just beside it. Anywhere is fine. And then when he casts Void Torrent, I'm simply just going to run behind the stump. Oh, I'm going to get bumped out. It's okay, as long as I'm behind the stump, it's fine. His other mechanic is he gets this shield that we have to break, and if we don't break it fast enough, it takes a little sanity off us. It's not the end of the world if you don't actually break it. I basically cannot break it unless I get a nice Twilight Dev proc. Such is the way of this build. It's very RNG based, which just means random number generation. But that's okay. That's all corruption is sometimes. But yeah, so for now, hide behind here, spam Moonfire. It's really my only range spell. Meet him up, hurt him. Rinse and repeat. He procs that shield you have to break at, I think it's like 60 and 30% or something like that. Yeah, as we can see, I'm not even close to breaking it with my damage. That's okay, even with Daredevil, it's only 18 sanity. It's far more important to dodge the Void Torrent with the line of sighting than it is to break that shield. We should be able to afford the shield break. To not be able to break the shield, if that makes sense. We should be able to eat that little bit of sanity. This is what happens when you do not dodge the Void Torrent. You get knocked up in the air and lose 15 sanity every time. We have the option to eat here, but because we're still not at 375, I'm going to power through, and I'm just going to pull Misha right away. And I'm going to pull the Bone Crusher as well, and I'm going to hope for a Twilight Death proc here. Pop my trinket. Shift 1 is my trinket, so whenever you see me pop that, it's just a little extra haste. If you want, you can cleanse a couple of things in here with your remove corruption. But nothing too crazy in here, simply just fishing for T-Dev. Misha has two mechanics that can cause you to lose sanity. That Maddening Roar I just stood in because I was slowed is one, don't want to eat that. And the other is the Desperate Retching. These green piles on the ground will spawn after a delay. And you don't want to eat either of those, like I just did. There's our Dev proc, easy peasy. We only kill this mob if there's a chest there. Just pop these guys till they kill themselves. They eventually commit suicide when they're low enough. Just walk away from them. You can also continue to damage them if you can't walk away from them. No worries there. Gonna run right over here. I'm gonna interrupt her so she comes with me. And then I'm gonna pop these scarabs as well. Gonna AoE all this, interrupt that, not trying to deal with that. I'm gonna let Venom Bolt go off, I'm not too worried. That's an annoying little Mind Toxin, but that's okay. Grab this chest. Go look for a crystal in here, so now we have both crystals from, oh no, one crystal from the area, the other one will be up by Thrall. We could eat a kebab here, but this boss is trivial. We just move out of Toxic Breath. Even if you don't dodge it, that's okay. It doesn't really become a problem until later. It's Toxic Volley we must dodge. To dodge Toxic Volley, if you're having a hard time, it's super easy. Just put your camera above you so that it's very easy to see what you're standing in, and then move accordingly. I removed Corruption on my spell there. See me just casually walk out of the way. It's okay to eat the Toxic Breath as long as we're dodging the Toxic Volley. There's lots of open space. Should always be able to find it. Stay calm, nice and easy. Use those strafe buttons. I'm gonna pull this guy up with me. So for these ones, I focus the Swarm Leader, but I position myself on the Bone Crusher. So see how the Bone Crusher just headbutted me, but I didn't go anywhere? That's because I went into the eggs themselves, as opposed to flying into my... So I'm focusing the Swarm Leader down. The reason is he has a couple seconds stun that can be devastating. This one I'm just moving around. I'm always trying to position myself so the headbutt from that big guy there doesn't ruin me. If you get bounced out in here, it hurts, and if you get bounced into Rexar, it can be a run-ending situation depending on the circumstances. So we got 3 orbs, so we're going to pop one here, stand on the wall. The reason we stand on the wall is so that when his little huffer friends run into us, they bump us a bit, and so they bounce us into the wall instead. My Twilight Dev went off, so it's instantly going to pull a huffer on me. I'm actually being trolled right now, that's okay. Trolled by my own potions. So this is actually a bad spot right now. This is genuinely bad. I'm losing lots of sanity to these guys because of that Twilight Dev proc. Like, I'm actually in a terrible spot right now. Like, I might be in trouble here. That's bad. This is actually bad. So I procced my free death, which is super bad. There's the Twilight Dev after all this time. So that was atrocious. That's the opposite of what you want that to look like. So my Twilight Dev procced and instantly put him to 80% and then didn't proc again. That's suboptimal. But I didn't play it well either. I needed to get more interrupts off on those huffers. However, we have Mother's Research, so we do get a free death, a free loss of sanity or whatever. I would not recommend. That was sloppy. But that's Visions. Sometimes they get a little hectic out there. Learn from my mistakes, friends. That was a yikers. That's alright. Easy peasy. Sometimes you get the proc, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get them when you don't want them. Not a big deal. We made it through. Now we just have Thrall. Easy peasy. Gonna go turn in here. Only found 9 crystals. I missed one somewhere. That's alright. Still a solid amount. I think like 360 mementos or something like that. Nothing to worry about. Always remember to grab that box. I mention it every time because I literally went months just talking to the guy, assuming I would get them and walking away, and I still wake up in a cold sweat sometimes. Crying about my mementos. Anyway. Drop this here. AoE them down. It's not really a big deal here. Anything, just avoid the ground. I didn't move enough to the side there. You just want to avoid the ground. Any sanity you lose is going to be regained while you're in here, while your orb is up. However, when it ends, you do want to be ready. You want them down. The huffers should be down by now. They are. We're good to go. Now we're just dealing with hopelessness. Oh. So, I don't know if you noticed, but I did goof up a bit here. Not the end of the world, but just a tiny mistake. I did not put my Stars gear on. So I'm still wearing my Twilight Dev, which is okay. Like, it'll still proc sometimes. However, the Stars is easier to fish for, and this is a pure single target fight. So Stars becomes pretty good here. It's much more effective. However, Twilight Dev is not the end of the world. I got 1 proc, I think, so far. Which isn't bad. I mean, 1 proc alone does 400,000 damage, so it's pretty good. Defiled ground, I'm always just moving out of the side. When I can, I want to stand in there, but I don't like standing in there when it's in the middle of the room. The reason is, his defiled ground, I want him to poop outside of the room, like he is right now, towards the outside of the room. I'll try and position him accordingly. So now he's facing away from the middle of the room, right? Which I want because I do not want defiled ground all through the middle of the room, right? So just keep him facing the outside. He'll always run back to you, right? So just let him. There's defiled ground, standing right beside it. I try and stand in this circle. However, it's better to not stand in the circle and keep him facing the outside than it is to poop all over the middle of your room. Just move to the side. Oh, I'm actually bad. That's okay. Oh my god, my damage is so sad. Oh, good lord. Please let me hurt you, sir. Anyway. that's what that is. That's why you switch to stars for the last one, because it's a single target, and your Twilight Dive's probably not going to do much for you. But as we can see, 30k DPS is still plenty to get that boss down, easy peasy. So hopefully you enjoyed and learned something. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'd love for people to leave comments, either specific questions, clarifications, even if you're correcting me. Love to see it. So please let me know. Hopefully this was helpful, and you get some nice gear in your mass this week. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.